In today's special podcast, we are looking at exploring how menstrual health in India goes far beyond hygiene. It is deeply rooted in stigma, exclusion, and gender inequality. While menstruation is still shrouded in taboo, it has real and damaging consequences, from girls dropping out of school due to lack of access and support to the invisibilization of several menstruators in both healthcare and policy. We will also look at the crucial role media and communication professionals play in destigmatizing menstruation and promoting menstrual health by providing factual information and challenging stereotypes associated with menstruation, highlighting the importance of menstrual hygiene products and generating a discourse around disposal of menstrual sanitary waste. Our first speaker, Ms. Nija Bhatnagar of Sulabh International, has been a key force in bringing menstrual health into the mainstream of sanitation and public health discourse. Her work goes beyond product access. She tackles stigma, misinformation, and silence around menstruation, especially in underserved communities. Through grassroots outreach, school based programs, and public campaigns, Ms. Bhatnagar has helped normalize conversations on menstruation, linking it to dignity, education, and gender equity. She has also advocated for safe, sustainable menstrual waste disposal, bridging health and environmental concerns. Our next speaker, Ms. Shumita Pal, is a seasoned health journalist known for her insightful and sensitive reporting on public health issues, particularly menstrual health. With a keen eye for gender nuances in healthcare, she has consistently highlighted the social taboos, policy gaps, and access challenges surrounding menstruation in India. Her work has contributed to shaping a more informed and inclusive public discourse on menstrual health and hygiene. Now that we have established how both our speakers are sharp, grounded, impact driven, and continue to create a more period friendly and inclusive India, I leave the field open to both of them.
It's nice to have a chat with Nirja on menstrual hygiene. This year's theme for menstrual hygiene is Together for Period Friendly World. So, Nija, my first question to you is like, why do conversations around menstrual health often get reduced to pad distribution? And generally, we report on menstrual leave, necessity of having menstrual leave. So, what are the dangers of that narrow focus, according to you?
Hi, Sumita. Nice to be here on this platform. Thank you, Population First, for having me. Yeah, Shamita, what you're saying that this bad distribution is such a tunnel view. Okay. But if you look at it from a larger perspective, wherever there is a gap, market comes in. Okay. So it's the market which is penetrating their product.
Mhm.
That yes, you have menstruation going through, and this sanitary pad will, and that dominates in this market-driven mindsets. We can only maintain the hygiene. Yes, you can maintain the hygiene. I'm not saying no with sanitary pad, but that's not the only thing. The approach has to be holistic. I mean, can you imagine on a sanitary napkin packet what they show? That the moment she is using it, she's flying, she's jumping, she's running, which is not true. Which is absolutely not true, because first 2 days sometimes you can't even get up from the bed
Mhm.
at, because of your cramps. And so it's all market driven agenda, that if you are using our napkin, then you will be like this. And unfortunately, even a larger stakeholder, they get bought into this kind of an agenda. So that's how this sanitary napkin thing, like pad induced agenda. It's not a pad induced agenda. It's an holistic thing which we have to look at in a very integrated way.
Mhm. Nija, menstrual justice, what does that mean to you personally and politically? Like, if you can,
Yeah, see, I'll go one step behind if you talk
yeah,
about
sure.
menstrual justice, because it is basically it should come from gender justice. Okay,
Mhm.
so unless and until this 100% gender 100% gender justice, I am sure will never happen. Yes, we
Mhm.
will keep striving towards it because
Mhm.
society is ever evolving, context is ever changing, and as per
Mhm.
the context, the gender justice has to be looked into. Okay,
Mhm.
menst- when gender justice will be looked into it, then comes the women's health, and then
Mhm.
comes the menstrual health. So it has like it has a there's a pipeline you have to see. These are the dots: gender justice, gender health justice, and then menstruation justice.
Mhm.
So if you connect these dots, then we can talk about menstruation politically. Yes, it is the politics of the gender. That this is the gender which goes through. It's a biological process. It is not something that we are asking to something very luxurious. So why are you taxing us
Mhm.
on sanitary napkins? Okay,
Mhm.
and why are you not looking at holistically and coming out with a completely foolproof schemes and some kind of a legislation that it will
Mhm.
be implemented properly and women will be able to carry on in their life without any health issues, which is because of the menstrual issues some most of the time, and also like it hampers women's empowerment if you see, because girls they drop out. We will be talking as we go ahead about the
Yeah.
dropouts and all that,
Mhm.
but the girls they get drop out because the absenteeism happens because there is no menstrual product, there is no infrastructure, and if she's not educated then she doesn't then there's a child marriage. If there's a child marriage, then the domestic violence, then she's not able to handle it, then the early pregnancy. Can you see the series of the problem? And this is the way are we looking at the 50% of our population?
Mhm.
That's the politics. When you say, I would say they all our institutions are patriarchal. Okay,
Mhm.
people who are running these institutions are have gone from the society which nurtures this kind of a mindset, which is social control and social rigidity, I will say.
Mhm.
Okay, and if they get into the policy framing, what kind of a policy are we looking at? Because they don't have holistic understanding of. And I hope they bring in more women when they form such kind of policy, because all men sitting in formulating policy for menstrual hygiene, I don't think
Mhm.
how much it will serve. So yes, menstrual justice is gender justice,
Mhm.
or maybe gender justice is menstrual justice, something like that. We have to see.
Correct.
Yeah.
What, according to you, is the most misunderstood aspect of menstrual health today?
Uh, Today, see, uh, I said whenever we look into gender justice,
Mhm.
the external context has changed, but the mindsets have not changed. Like when I'm saying, take for very basic example, you take that when laptop came in, okay, when computer came in, sometimes
Mhm.
early 90s, like it started using in office. Otherwise, people used to do work with pen and paper. How many girls were given the laptops at home? Okay, how many girls were provided with kind of a thing? So I would say that it is basically the stigma and the taboo which we will have to tackle. And the stigma and taboos are only to control.
Mhm.
These are the some kind of a tool, you can say, to control women. And when also when you can't provide, you get into something which is very irrational, like
Mhm.
cultural beliefs, traditional belief. You look at it from the angle of cultural belief, you look at it from the angle of religion, whereas it is purely scientific, it is biological. How can it be tackled with some kind of a particular religion and culture and tradition and some kind of a traditional practices? What I like traditional practices, I would say, instead of giving her healthy food during menstruation, why are you excluding her and keeping her out of the house? When we were doing this study, we found that girls have been kept out of the house for 5 to 7 days, and not a very
Mhm.
healthy atmosphere. In rural area, if you will see, just
Mhm.
over bamboo and tarpaulin above, she's sleeping there in that unhygienic, insecure situation. What about the insects coming? What about some kind of an external attack on her? And
Mhm.
also the, like, while you are also practicing your culture like this, purity impurity issue, that she is impure at this point, on these 5 or 7 days, so she has to be kept out. You are making it more public that
Mhm.
she is now right now menstruating, which increases her vulnerability. So,
Mhm.
that social, I mean, the stigma and taboos are something which has to be tackled with awareness, has to be brought into the education policy. All these stakeholders should come together, like media should be writing about it, school should be teaching about it, family should be aware, mother should be aware, because even mothers, most of the time, even the elder sister, most of the time, are not able to pass on the correct information. I mean, whatever half-baked information she gets from her friend circle, she manages her health, menstrual health that time. And that is one of the reason why our boys are not sensitive. Because at
Mhm.
home also there is no open discussion on this. So
Mhm.
they are not even overhearing what it is. They only read. Sometimes they read
Mhm.
the baked, half-baked knowledge. And that's how this misconception and those things like this goes on. So this is how we would we have found out that
Mhm.
this is what is happening.
So when I was reporting about Sulabh Sanitation Mission Foundation's landmark report on the combating silence from menarche to menopause, that
Yeah,
the report which you were integral
menarche,
part of,
uh,
menarche,
menarche to
and
menopause.
yeah, menopause. So we saw how it's just not a rural issue, but also urban women. Uh, or the entire menstruation age, they have this menstrual hygiene problem. What were any stories that you can speak about that young girl that was from Dharavi, if you remember?
Yeah,
She also said about having menstrual hygiene in a city like Mumbai.
yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's not it is rural and urban when you think about from the infrastructure point of view. But when you
Mm.
think about from perspective, ideology, mindset, nothing is very different. People who have
Yeah.
migrated to urban areas are from rural areas,
Mm.
okay, and they nurse the same mindset. When we did this
Mhm.
study in Dharavi, I mean,
Mhm.
she got to know that she has four sisters in her house. And even mother who is menstruating. So altogether there are 5 or 6 menstruators in the house and using same product.
Mhm.
They are not using sanitary napkin, they are using clothes and same product, because Dharavi is a very congested, cramped slum where there's hardly any sunlight and all that. So rural, urban, yeah, this is I'm telling you about a class which is below poverty line. But if you go
Mhm.
to the middle class in an urban area, uh, to some extent, hygiene is taken care, but the taboo still remain. She can't enter
Mhm.
into prayer room. She can't do puja those days. She can't touch pickles. Sometimes she can't even move out from the house. She can't go to temple. So all these, she can't perform anything. She can't even participate if somebody is getting engaged. She can't even
Mhm.
participate if there is some puja or Satyanarayan Katha is going on. She is kept outside. This is the urban so-called, like, urban
Yeah,
setup.
yeah.
So, some kind of an hygiene is taken care, but mindset she suffers.
Mhm. And when it comes to rural, during the reporting, it was observed that many of the women had this problem of going to approaching doctor because there was no lady doctor, women doctor. Uh, that issue, I guess, was a most prevalent thing in rural areas. Do you see that same problem in urban setup also, where they have menstrual issues, uh, but they do have this hesitation to approach doctor because there is no women doctor, lady doctor?
Yes, in
Also, how important this plays in terms of menstrual hygiene.
this place in the sense.
How this non-availability, like not giving correct information at the right stages, uh, and not having doctors, women doctor, how does it affect menstrual hygiene?
Because correct information doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, because they are used to of, honestly speaking, even I grew up with a very educated mother. My thing of menstruation is more from the cultural and this, oh, this is what happens when a girl becomes adult, and you should not play with the boys those days. You should not become very physically close to any boys. And so I also, like, it was not told to me that it is something very natural, biological. Now you will get it after every 27 days or 28 days. And this is how you have to maintain your hygiene standard. This is what you should be eating these days. And this is how you should be managing your, I mean, if you are healthy, you are hygienic, then your mental wellness, because this is also a question of mental wellness and uh, mental health and dignity. Uh,
Mhm.
with the correct information that comes in, that confidence comes in. With the wrong
Mhm.
information, it will never come. So in
Mhm.
rural area, yes, the things are there. But in urban area, when you see, you
Mhm.
in rural area in PHCs, there are no doctors. Hardly it
Mhm.
opens. Let me tell you that. It
Mhm.
hardly opens. Sometimes it opens once a week. Sometimes it opens if there is delivery and somebody goes and informs, then they
Mhm.
open. This is the situation. I won't name you the state, but this is the
Mhm.
situation. In urban area, because that is not taught that this is a medical issue, that this is
Mhm.
an health issue. So she won't
Mhm.
go. And frankly speaking, we all will prefer to go to a lady doctor for this. We will not, the way we just critique that how all male policymaker can make the policy on this. Same thing is like, how can we be very free about such a private and intimate thing and disclose to a male doctor? So availability of a woman doctor, yes, girls are not going. In fact, girls, they think my mother is there, my sister is there, they will educate me, they'll take care of it. Even mother doesn't take her to the doctor if there is severe cramp. She will give her some cyclopam. She will give her some baralgan. And yeah, this happens. This pain, the best thing have you heard that this pain will go once you get married. What does this mean?
Correct. Yeah.
When you get married, and it will totally go when you deliver a child.
Mhm.
Go to a doctor, take the correct advice. Some
Mhm.
people they get it for 3 days, some people they get it for 5 days. Why it is 3 days? Why it is 5 days? What is good if, because at home they will say if it is 3 days then it is not healthy. You should menstruate heavily for 7 days throughout the week. So what is healthy, what is not healthy? I think a qualified doctor only can give you the advice. But
Yeah.
girls have that culture is not there of taking a medical help for this. The culture is that it has a cultural, traditional, and like you depend on the traditional and cultural and religion based information and follow. This is very prevalent in urban areas. They don't go to doctor for this problem at least.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think this has also led to what you mentioned, has also led to many girls dropping out of the school. And also in the rural areas, we have seen women, especially who are into hard labor, farming, they going for hysterectomy because they do not want to face the menstrual hygiene challenges. And
yeah, Shamita,
and that is
you
this is the same thing which was also highlighted in your
yeah,
report.
yeah. I'll tell you this, Shamita. Good that you highlighted that. We did this report. We took 7 states and 14 districts, like, two districts from each state, and we chose those states and districts based on the Niti Aayog's indicators, poverty indicators. For Maharashtra, we chose Usmanabad and Bid only because of the women sugarcane workers who migrate to sugarcane cultivation areas, agricultural areas, to give their labor.
Mhm.
I'm sure you must have seen. Have you seen their, because in our, while presenting, we had shown the photograph, the kind of
Mhm.
a house, so-called house they stay in. Where is the privacy? There is no toilet. There is no toilet
Mhm.
there. And Beed and Usmanabad are the drought affected area, and that's how this migration happens. The
Mhm.
whole structure of migration is that a couple will be is a legit a bona fide laborer. Like, one person's labor is now they call it koita. So husband and wife, both of them will work for one wage.
Mhm.
Okay, and and because of that, even early child marriage is prevalent in those areas. because she has to be viable, economically viable for her family, for her husband, and for her natal family also. So that's how they get, they marry her off at a very early age. She produces one or two children, and after that, she's all set to go. So why she, and when she goes, there are issues of, uh, I mean, privacy, safety, no toy. I mean, complete, I would say, complete human right violence. I have seen these two areas: sugarcane factory workers, women workers, and in the brick kilns also. I mean, their houses are not houses. It's not even dwelling. I mean, very sad. There's no walls. They live in a house which has no walls, just open. And forget privacy and everything. There is also sexual assault on her. So it's better to go for the hysterectomy for everyone, for the society, for the husband, for the family. That A, she will not conceive. So the social status of the family, the reputation doesn't go down, even if she has been assaulted sexually, because she won't get pregnant, at least that much. Okay. And during the why hysterectomy? Because during the period she might ask for leave, she might not come to work. So before going to work, even if she has headache and she goes, I don't know what is this thing about those two districts, that even every doctor, I don't know why they suggest them a hysterectomy as a remedy to all the illness. Even if there is headache, yeah, yeah, you do hysterectomy. I mean, in fact, in one of the case, it was very funny. The lady husband took the lady to the doctor for some other problem, and doctor said, "Ki, you go for the hysterectomy." Lady said, "Sir, you were the one who did my hysterectomy 2 years before."
So,
So it's all
while we,
economics. Can you see the
yeah.
livelihood,
Mhm,
economics, socio-economic status? It's all so connected.
mhm. And in urban city, we have this debate on menstrual leave. Like the debate has been going on whether menstrual leave is required. But do we have workplace policies for menstrual leave? Do you think that uh, women are do not have equality in that sense?
Yes, menstrual leave at the workplace has to be there, because
Mhm,
everybody's case is very different. Some they get pain, some they don't get pain. Okay,
mhm,
some they get heavy flow, some they don't get. Some people they get first, second, and third day the heavy flow. After that it reduces. So
mhm,
menstrual leave is, I strongly support this. But
mhm.
menstrual health is not only about menstrual leave.
Leave,
It is
correct.
much more beyond. Okay,
Mhm,
it is menstrual health, and it is a issue of discrimination and disparity and inequality. I
mhm,
mean, when society we are progressing, we are
mhm,
dynamic, and we are developing so well. How will you develop when there is so much of a discrimination and disparity prevails at the workplace? Workplace, when I'm saying she is a economically contributing for the family, to the society, to the country. And
mhm,
why there should not be any policy? Why it has not to be understood in a correct context and in a very personal context? Because as I said, everybody's case, maybe I need leave last 2 days, not first
mhm,
day or second day. So it should be
mhm,
left open. Maybe I don't want leave. It's not
mhm,
required. Okay.
mhm,
So if I don't want, I don't want leave. And if you take leave sometimes in the office, that again stigma and taboo. Sometimes the male
mhm,
colleague will say, "Oh, this is that part of the month and she's not coming." So that,
mhm,
those kind of a discussion.
mhm,
The thing is that we have not normalized this issue. We need to talk
mhm,
about it, openly discuss and normalize. You don't
mhm,
even celebrate and don't even stigmatize, because menstruation is celebrated also and stigmatized also. And both the things, like, is for the social control. Normalize
mhm.
it. It's a normal process. This is what I would say.
Nisha, while reporting, we saw that what is lacking from the government side, policy-wise, is evidence-based knowledge to strengthen the existing policies. Like we have discussed about right now, how when it comes to menstrual hygiene, the government policies are somewhere around how
leave
to distribute sanitary pads,
and
and
leave.
on and off the discussion comes on menstrual leave. So whether it is a rural side or the urban side, uh, evidence-based knowledge is not there when we are discussing about the policies from the government side. What do you think about it?
Because see, there has been many studies on this, on menstrual hygiene. Many organizations which have been working on gender, wash, and sanitation, they have done. But their studies have been very segmented, like um, adolescent girl, like girls who are into high school, or the girls who are teenagers only. So there's a varied kind of an studies and doesn't give a complete picture. Um,
Mhm.
why we went into, if you will see, we have captured the age group beyond 20 till 49,
Mhm.
because that is the age group which is not represented anywhere. They're out of school, they're out of college, they're married off. How this social group are going through, how are they managing their menstrual health, and how to get them, where to get them. That doesn't mean that they don't need your help, they don't need support, because they're menstruating. It is their fertile age. they are they are producing children. This is the age, 20 to 49, 20 at least till 30 they produce children. And that is the time, if they are out of the system, how you can reach out, how can you increase the reach? And if you have not increased your reach, how will you make policy? You tell me. How will you understand? When we went into the rural area, it was really when we were conceptualizing this, that how to uh, get this age group in rural area. Then we thought we have to go to Gram Panchayat. We have to speak to the members. We have attended Gram Sabha, women Gram Sabha, where only women come, tribal women come. In Odisha, at least we did that. Um, that only women will come and put this into a resolution that sanitary napkin distribution is a must. We should be getting, because they are poor, they are below poverty line. They can't, affordability, accessibility, availability is an issue there. So the government has to provide them this thing. And leave question doesn't arise there much, but the leave questions are here in urban areas. That every, see, that's what I'm saying. Holistically, it has to go. It's a segmented approach will never sort out any issue. And the live, take for example, if she even if she's aware, even if she has the accessibility, if she doesn't have money, even if she's working, she's educated, if she doesn't have financial independence to buy a packet of sanitary napkin, what is the use of it? So until the financial independence has not been given, the things are compromised, right? So policymakers should not stop at only distributing sanitary napkin or menstrual leave. They have to look into the socio-economic condition. Like in a rural area, what we felt, that some kind of an SSG and microcredit has to be given to them to buy this, like, so some kind of a system you create, that it should be distributed, because the family is another patriarchal institution which will not take care of her menstrual health. So it should be done through Asha Sai, who, Asha
Sure,
health
the
worker.
healthcare
Yeah,
workers.
yeah, it should be done from there. And what we saw, that that's a different topic, that quality was not good, and the products were not sufficient. Like, only five bad quality napkin in a month. I don't think it's also. You basically need more than 15 sanitary napkin, a packet of 15 for a month. Those issues are there, but then that's what I'm saying. The socio-economic, the livelihood, education, health. If you take the full thing into perspective, even geography during COVID, what happened? I mean, people they were walking back to their homes, and women used newspapers those days.
Yeah.
They shared that we have used newspapers in the way. So accessibility, this kind of a pandemic situation, this kind of an uncalled situation, how the state should come in at that particular time. So unless until you don't understand uh, with the don't take a full view into picture, that insufficient policies will come. That for on paper your policy will be there, but it cannot be implemented B, it cannot be bought by the people. So you should know your target audience, and you should have a
Mhm.
desire that my scheme should reach out to everyone.
But I think also the when it comes to policy making, one more handicap that I see generally is we have different departments dealing with it. Like we have women child department, we have education department, the labor department is something. So there is no synergy between all these departments when it comes to tackling menstrual, making a well-informed policy making in this in the for menstrual hygiene. I think something this was observed by you also,
Yeah.
where so we have only one women and health child department which will be looking at the policy making, and only sanitary pads will be discussed. But we are not looking at how education department can chip in, or a labor department can chip in the to make a proper policy on menstrual
You
hygiene.
have to make a mechanism. That's what we are proposing, that you make a mechanism. Uh, One window, you can say, or maybe some kind of an umbrella kind of a thing, that where all these departments come together on this particular issue. Like if women and health is coming and
Mhm.
education is not coming, then there is no infrastructure in the school toilets. There is, like, absenteeism happens because of that, because you are not providing water. There is no wash infrastructure proper, so that the students feel safe and hygienic to go into those kind of. So what we are suggesting is that very, very strongly, that you create an instrument, you create a committee, where the representative of, if you think that these experts can come in, or maybe people from these department, and some implementers on the ground, some media people come together and form a committee, and let that
Mhm.
committee be independently looking at the menstruation uh, issues of women, beyond pregnancy and beyond any other complication. I mean, giving everything to Asha worker, I don't know how much she can reach out.
Yeah.
I mean, in Jharkhand, she is not able to reach out to two areas at the same time. She will not be able to, because the
Mhm.
terrain is so difficult. In Odisha, if you go to Dongaria Kond area, yeah, that area, I mean, the terrain is so difficult that she will not be able to reach B. But then, the one wrong thing is that they are incentivizing the ASHA worker, that you take these five napkins, we are giving it you at 3 rupees, you can sell it at 5 rupees.
Mhm.
So that's the incentive given to her, so that she will be able, so that people get the sanitary napkins to you. I don't think such kind of a thing will work on. It has to be like, bringing the way we call it, no, bring the justice at the doorstep. Here you have
Mhm.
to take the menstrual health at the doorstep of the people, of the women and the girl. So,
Mhm.
I mean, once we did, like, we in every villages, we camped it. We put a camp, and we, like, distributed. And while distribution, we also gave them awareness and knowledge about this. So this is how, like, you have to take the menstrual justice at the doorstep of girls. And so
Mhm.
holistic, some kind of a mechanism you have to make. I mean, if government really wants to do it, they can do it, because end of the day, reach out, no, during the election time to the rural area. This can happen. There has to be a politics and
Mhm.
effort, because again, array yaar, it's okay. We will see that later.
Thank you to both our guests. We hope this conversation helped move the narrative beyond product distribution towards a more right based, gender inclusive approach that normalizes menstruation and places dignity and justice at its core. We thank the audience and look forward to your valuable insights and perspectives in helping shape a more inclusive dialogue around menstrual health. Do write in with your inputs. Thank you, one and all.